Friends, today I am going to explain the solo farming in the tower. If you have not yet subscribed to the channel, then subscribe and also give a like to the video. Let's start the video. Soon, the entire group gathers together to share information. Sejong tells them that there are about 500 frogs left in the lake, and they have tried everything to search the lake's surface, but they couldn't locate any frogs. He is certain that they are hiding in an underwater cave deep inside the lake, and Iona also thinks that it must be the case. She says that 100 years ago, this area was not a lake, so there certainly can be underwater caves. However, the problem is that the lake and its surrounding area are too vast, and her search magic can't cover all of it. She suddenly gets another idea that suits her personality very well. She suggests that they should just increase the temperature of the lake really high so that the water boils over and the frogs die. Sejong freaks out on hearing this and tells Iona that they absolutely can't do that because if they do, it won't kill just the frogs, but also the blue carp that they are trying to save and the rest of the life forms in the lake as well. Even Theo takes a break from munching on churros to judge Iona and ask her if she is just specialized in destruction. Iona gets flustered on hearing this and says that he is being mean. They start quarreling, with Iona asking what she even did, and him reminding her how she is always reckless and impulsive. Elka just sighs as he sees them bicker even in such a serious situation, and then suddenly Sejong sees a change in the status window. He lets out a panicked cry, informing everyone that the number of frogs in the lake is increasing all of a sudden. Everyone is shocked to hear that, and the black rabbit asks if the frog eggs are continuing to hatch even now. Sejong tells him that they stopped after a small burst, but if they don't quickly find the cave, they may be too late to stop it. Sejong puts Theo down on the ground as he wonders what to do next, but Theo has the answer to that. He tells Sejong that there was something he wanted to tell him earlier, but couldn't since he forgot it in the joy of seeing him. Sejong is curious about that, and Theo suddenly points towards the lake, saying that he can feel a sense of attraction towards it. Iona is surprised by this because she thought Theo was attracted to Sejong like a compass needle to the North Pole, but he tells her that it was not the case. Initially, even Theo believed that he was attracted to Sejong's lap, but now he can feel the source of the attraction inside the lake, and he can feel it very strongly. He then confidently declares that he might know the location of the cave where the frogs are hiding because he can feel it in his bones. Soon after that, Sejong and his friends decide to explore the lake and find the cave. Iona is sitting on top of Sejong's head while Theo is in his arms. Iona says that she will cast a barrier magic around them and using the air trapped inside it, they can breathe and move underwater for around 15 minutes. Also, since they don't know how big the cave's entrance is, she doesn't want to take everyone along with her. The search party is going to consist of Sejong, Theo, the Black Rabbit, Kwang, and Elka besides Iona. Hejul tells her to be careful and then says that he will place his underlings around the lake so that no frog can escape in case they try to flee. However, there is a little problem before they can go on the search mission. Turns out, Theo is terrified of going into water, and he has started to sweat already. He asks Sejong if he really needs to go underwater, and Sejong tells him that he is literally their compass and metal detector. Theo starts flailing around saying that he doesn't want to go. He asks what will happen if he drowns in the water because he hates water, and he doesn't even know how to swim. Sejong tells Theo to calm down, but that obviously doesn't help. Suddenly, Iona comes flying towards Theo, telling him that she is going to be by his side, and he should trust her. He tells her that he trusts her, but he is really scared. Iona tells him that he has nothing to be scared of because she won't let the water touch even the tip of his fur. With a smile, she tells him that she believes in him, and there is a little bit of blushing on Theo's face as he agrees to do his best and venture into the lake. With that, the entire group is ready to go on the mission and Iona uses her magic to create a spherical barrier around them. She lifts the barrier up using magic, much to Quen's amusement. Even Sejong is impressed and awestruck that they are floating so high in the air, But as they get closer to the lake, Theo starts to wimp out. He clings to Sejong, crying that it is really too scary for him and he wants to get off now. Sejong tells Theo to get off of his face because he can't see anything like this, and even the black rabbit and Quen tell the orange cat to get a grip. As they keep shouting and bickering, Iona dunks the barrier into the water, and the black wolves are worried about them now. Once inside the water, Theo hugs Sejong's face even tighter, unwilling to let go. As Sejong gasps for breath, the black rabbit tries pulling Theo away, but without any success. However, what gets Theo to loosen his grip on Sejong's face is Iona's voice as she tells him that they are already inside the lake and nothing scary has happened. Theo lets go of Sejong's face and their jaws drop in unison as they see the marvelous scenery within the lake. They see the dazzling blue water, different types of fish, and underwater vegetation. Sejong remarks that the sceneries in the tower are truly remarkable, and Theo starts drooling as he sees his favorite food in its natural habitat. Iona tells them that they are not here for sightseeing and asks Sejong to guide her to their destination. Sejong lifts up Theo, the treasure detector, and asks him to point towards the direction he is feeling attraction towards. Theo puts his paws out front and focuses before telling Sejong that he can feel something up ahead. Iona moves ahead on the path and Theo keeps telling her to move even further. At one point, he asks her to go down, but not on him, and that is where they discover something really surprising. There is a sunken city at the bottom of the lake and everyone is equally shocked to see it. Elker remarks that it looks like an ancient city, and Theo adds that he has lived near the lake for his entire life, but he had no idea that there was something like this here. Suddenly, the black rabbit calls for everyone's attention because he found something. They turn around to see a frog swimming into a stone gate with a blue carp in his mouth. Iona immediately follows him, and they soon come out of the water. They have found the underwater cave, which is much larger than they were expecting, and there is plenty of air for everyone. As they all get out of the water, Theo points towards the other side of a cave, saying that he can feel a strong pull from the location. Sejong and his group head into the cave ready to fight, and suddenly they start hearing loud frog noises. They casually walk into the open space in the center of the cave, and no frog notices them. In front of them is a gigantic frog queen with hundreds of eggs around her and a bunch of blue carp put in front of her by the frogs. As the group sees the huge frog queen, Sejong is tempted to make a "your mama so fat" joke, but he realizes that the frogs won't find it funny. He just says that it is bigger than what he expected, but Theo gets down from his shoulder to watch the scene more closely. After the queen frog grabs the fish in her hand and throws them into her mouth, she suddenly starts screaming loudly, terrifying all the frogs. Iona quickly deduces the situation and says that the frog queen was trapped inside this cave because she became too huge to pass through the cave entrance. She was using her offspring to bring food to her, but after Sejong came to this floor and hunted more than half of the frogs, she is not getting enough food, and that has made her angry and grumpy. Suddenly, Theo says that he feels the strong attraction from the frog queen, and the very next moment his paw slips on the cliff's edge, and he falls down. Sejong panics as he sees him fall and catches him by his robe. But then the rock under his foot comes loose, and he falls down too. What's next? Does Elka try to catch him, and then he also slips? Fortunately, no. Iona uses her magic to slow down their fall, and while Theo lands safely on his feet, Sejong hits the ground at too slow a speed to get hurt. He is glad that he survived, but then Theo tells him to look ahead because things are not looking well. The frog queen and all her spawns have their eyes on them now, and they don't seem happy to get uninvited guests. The frog queen screams and sends all her minions towards them, and Sejong's friends jump down the cliff to back him up. Elka, Queng, and Black Rabbit immediately charge ahead, saying that since they are already here, they have nothing to lose. They begin hunting down the frogs, and then Sejong gets a new quest from the tower. The system tells him that the mutated frog queen is the cause of the endangering of blue carp, and he must defeat it. Sejong is really determined to quickly complete the final part of the quest, and alongside Iona and Theo, he rushes ahead too. His friends open the way for them to get close to the Frog Queen, and then Iona uses her magic to blast away all the frogs near the Queen so that Sejong has an unrestricted path to her. He dashes right towards the Frog Queen with Theo on his shoulder and declares that he will defeat her in one go. He throws his axe at the Frog Queen with full strength, but it bounces on its thick skin and begins heading towards its head. The Frog Queen stops it with her palm, and the axe gets stuck there. Well, that is the lesser of the bad news. The worst news is that her hand is right on top of Sejong's, and he realizes that he is doomed as she swings it down to squish him. The giant Frog Queen was about to slam the tower farmer straight into the ground, leaving even Sejong shocked, unable to comprehend what he should do to defend himself. Theo and the baby bear were equally stunned by the Queen's actions, as she seemed determined to devour our boy. When the slam occurred, Sejong's hat flew off and landed on the ground, becoming dirty, while the Wolf Chief and the Black Warrior Rabbit were equally startled by the sudden turn of events. As the scene shifted, we saw that at the critical moment, the baby bear leapt to save his dad, transforming into his giant form to shield Sejong from being crushed. The adorable creature, now visibly furious, the baby bear then suplexed the Frog Queen, slamming her to the ground, and quickly turned to ask his dad if he was all right. Meanwhile, Iona instructed Sejong to perform a combo attack with the hamster. Sejong and the hamster charged toward the Frog Queen, while Iona materialized her magical staff and began casting a special spell onto Sejong's dagger, making it glow with a purple aura. Although Sejong was briefly distracted by the glowing weapon, Theo yelled at him to focus on the enemy and not the dagger. Theo informed Sejong that he felt the same magnetic pull from the Frog Queen's stomach and suggested that Sejong should aim his attack there. Sejong steeled himself, ready to slash the Queen's stomach open. As he struck with his purple glowing dagger, a strange energy burst forth from the Frog Queen's stomach, surprising everyone present and temporarily blinding both Sejong and Theo. Iona quickly cast a protection spell to shield Sejong, Theo, and the baby bear from the impact of the blinding light. The Wolf Chief and the Black Rabbit were also protected, thanks to the hamster's efforts. The Frog Queen glowed with an intense purple hue, and just before she exploded, her massive army of frogs looked on in confusion, unable to grasp what was happening. Finally, the Frog Queen took her last breath and exploded with a deafening boom, taking all her loyal followers with her. As the dust settled and silence returned to the cave, Iona dispelled her protection spell, breathing a sigh of relief as she remarked how close they had come to disaster. Theo, still puzzled, asked what had just happened. The Wolf Chief approached Sejong and asked if he was unharmed. Sejong turned to thank Iona for her timely protection spell, acknowledging that without it, he wouldn't have survived. But suddenly, Sejong noticed a strange stone tablet lying where the Frog Queen had been moments before, emitting a mysterious and ominous aura. Theo was shocked, recognizing it as the source of the magnetic pull he had felt earlier. Iona, ever cautious, warned Sejong not to approach the dangerous object, as it radiated powerful and potentially harmful energy. She decided to use her appraisal spell to determine the true nature of the stone. The hamster's eyes began glowing blue as she activated her Eye of Truth ability to appraise the item. The stone tablet became enveloped in a blue aura, and a notification appeared, revealing that the tablet was a shard of a larger item, the 9th in a series, and it emanated divine energy. However, its grade and effects remained unclear, even after the appraisal. Both Sejong and Theo were taken aback by the hamster's inability to uncover all of the stone's properties. Iona apologized, explaining that this was the limit of her abilities and that she had never encountered an item with such an immense amount of divine energy. She speculated that the Frog Queen's enormous size and abnormal transformation were due to her consuming the tablet, and the stored energy was released when Sejin attacked her stomach. Iona further explained that if their protective shield had been even a moment late, the entire group would have been purified by the divine energy, along with the frogs and their queen. Sejin expressed his gratitude to Iona repeatedly for saving them in time. Suddenly, multiple notifications appeared before Sejin. The system informed him that he had defeated the Frog Queen, one of the causes of the extinction of the blue carp in the lake on the 75th floor. As a result, Sejin leveled up and gained a bonus stat. However, another notification revealed that the Frog Queen and her minions were only part of the reason for the extinction of the blue carp. Sejin began wondering what else might be contributing to their disappearance. Iona encouraged him to remain optimistic and search for the remaining causes. Just then, Theo spotted something glowing green in the distance. As they approached, they discovered a frog egg emitting the strange glow. Iona realized that this egg was destined to become the next Frog Queen, as per an ancient tradition where a new queen rises after the previous one's death. The wolf chief suggested destroying the eggs to prevent the frogs from overrunning the lake. However, Iona countered, explaining that they were here to save the blue carp, not to drive the frogs to extinction. She reasoned that the frogs had become oversized due to the divine energy leaking from the Frog Queen and her shard. Sejin proposed a solution: to delay the hatching of the eggs until the blue carp population recovered. He also asked Iona if frogs only ate meat. To his surprise, she explained that they also ate aquatic plants and other foods. Sejin then came up with an idea. He took out a pineapple crown from his inventory and planted it in the cave soil. As Sejin and his companions watered the planted crown, he explained that if pineapples grew there, the frogs might begin feeding on the fruit, reducing their impact on the fish. This clever solution earned praise from everyone, making Sejin blush. Later, as they prepared to leave the lake, Sejin noticed a crowd of cats gathered outside, bowing to Theo and begging to become his underlings. Sejin, amused, realized just how popular Theo had become. Theo, however, was slightly annoyed by the persistent cats. Suddenly, another system notification informed Sejin that another cause of the blue carp's extinction was the villagers hunting them for food. This triggered a mid-level quest requiring Sejin to prevent the cats from fishing for an entire year to allow the carp population to recover. Despite the challenges, Theo took responsibility for training the cats to become merchants, thus providing them an alternative livelihood. Sejin admired Theo's determination and recognized how much the golden cat had grown. With their divine quest completed, the group continued their journey, ready to face new challenges ahead.